Greetings, fellow tribal philosophers. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Tribe of the Sky. Episode 8, A Room for Research. Oh god, that's dumb. Make wort, yes, but not from everywhere. He's been grabbing 25 wort at a time. You made all this wort, you haven't even literally made beer yet. There we go. So this whole concept, I'll work one side at a time so it's cheaper. So we're not going to achieve symmetry initially. And the other thing is all of this, the first iteration of this, I can just put my turrets on the asteroid. I don't have to build this bridge because this works fine with a turret shooting in from here. You know, it will stop enemies mid-bridge. So even without the second bridge path, this still functions decently. All right. We are going to smelt all weapons that are biocoded. Smelt biocoded weapon. We are going to smelt all slag. That is close. We're going to smelt all apparel that is tainted. Yeah. So I am no longer needing these shelves. We won't keep tainted apparel. I got so many non-tainted vac suits so quickly. Actually, I'm going to hold on to them for now. Just in case of decay and wear and tear, because I can't manufacture them. So I guess they're still kind of special. And I don't really have a lot of power generation for that. So let's do some of the refining now. Also, make psychoid forever. Oh god, don't drop on the floor. I don't think there's any other weapons I want right now. Like these bolt actions. So all other weapons I'm going to start smelting as well. I'll call this all weapons to know that it's dangerous. But I don't... Is there going to be a scenario? No, I might want bolt actions. I really can't picture a scenario where I'm actually going to want bolt actions. Truthfully. Because their DPS is just so low that even if I want to outrange the enemy, I don't think bolt action is going to be the way to do it. Oh, the smelt tinted apparel? Yeah, I didn't say remove clean. Good call. So this is more about like wealth management than anything else. And there we go. All right. When make tea, drop. And then we'll eventually get a tea shelf and things like that. Don't need them yet. All right, Ty, I want you just to haul steel because it's going to make building this a lot easier. We just move the steel first. And the total cost of this is 118 times 14 approximately, which is 1600 steel. So I will have enough steel for this. Yeah. When you also need to destroy tinted apparel or normal clothes as well, they're out here. They're just being stored out here, decaying naturally. So they're effort free, I guess. Now the hope is that JD will finish up his cook tasks and start helping Ty haul steel. So I think once I'm out of Psychoid, we can do that. For now, I'm going to manage drug consumption manually. Nobody's really in a bad mood, so I don't need to start scheduling drugs. But as soon as, like, good mood is not necessarily guaranteed, I will. It might also be worth destroying bows. So I'm going to do all weapons, and this is just a really temporary task, because I don't really need, like, 2 short bows, and I'm just gonna burn them up. And then remove the bill. Mostly because I don't need the bill like that, because, like, no tribal weapons are ever going to come my way from here on out, unless they, like, come in a drop pod for some reason. Too bad I can't make a hot tub? I know, right? You know what I realized? Can you even get sick in orbit? We might not be able to get sick. There might not be germs. I mean, there would be, like, food poisoning. But... because on land tiles, if you're wondering, there is a... if you look at the terrain, there's a, average disease frequency. But in space, there kind of isn't average disease frequency, right? Like... it doesn't have... germs. So, I don't know if we need a lot of medicine outside of wounds. I mean, I'm sure there's, like, wound infections, because why wouldn't there be, but I don't know if there's, like, normal illness. Which is to say, your super immunity is not doing a lot of work. Probably for the best. I mean, you know, that's fine by me. Question for you guys. What should I work on? Do you want me to continue the entry corridor? Or do you want me to pivot and do something else? I've spent a little bit of time on this. You know what the project entails. You know it's a large project that takes a while. You also know that it's really not going to take I'm not going to be able to take advantage of this until I actually have uranium. So it's entirely reasonable to say, hey, yo, take a break from this and work on finding uranium by doing other things. So if you want me to do other things, that is up to you. And finding uranium, if you want me to, like, build storage or find uranium, like any of these other projects that require me to clear ground, probably will also help me find uranium to some degree or another. I'd imagine. So I'm going to unhide some of the plans here so you can visualize. So if we ended up with storage, I might just have sort of like an open storage concept here. Because the entire rest of the base is kind of like a workshop, dining room, rec room, you know, and I don't really, dining rooms and rec rooms can kind of share the same space. Ideally, I wouldn't have like vaxstone chunks in them because they're particularly ugly, but you know, whatever. Maybe someday we can have a designated rec zone, but it will probably be a while before that's true. It's funny to be claiming home, like open space as home zone. And it seems like you guys are going to say storage. I'm going to pivot now because I have work drive. So, yeah. The original plan was to have like a wide corridor around everything. And I'm not changing that at all. In RimWorld, you can go out 11 tiles before things start to collapse. So I'm going to mine this area out. Ty, that means you're going to be in vac safe and ditch the suit. And then JD, I'm going to leave you as you are. because... Oh, I shouldn't have ditched the shell. Oh, well, whatever. I'm going to leave you as you are because you might end up hauling stuff out there. Oh, people have gone swimming all the time. Yeah, we've had a lot of swimmers already. So, current priority, build a storage room. And build a storeroom. So I'm planning to just, like, store them here. And I'm going to aim to try to keep our colony wealth down. Which means not trying to amass too much stuff. I'll just freeze this for now. It's not like a lot of labor, but it's very time intensive to build like one tile at a time. Quantum, how are you doing? You pretty happy? The newlyweds are exceedingly happy. Don't forget a shelf for tea and other drugs in the kitchen. I haven't forgotten, I'm just not doing it. I'd mentioned that, I guess you missed it. But I don't really have a dining table or rec room yet, so I'm not actively working on building that kind of stuff. One thing I do intend to do, however, is, hospitality for aristocrats. You'll give me a high mate. Well, they're not tribal. That's too bad. I would have taken a tribal. You're a wreckage explorer. So, what? Are you even human? I don't even know. So yeah, here we go. Here's our, like, storage area. Once Ty finishes the silver mining. And then we'll get shelves up, and then the inside of our workshop should get a lot less ugly, which should help with mood because our dining and recreation areas become positively affected. There you go, now you're stone cutting. And then once stone cutting is done, maybe we'll do some steel hauling. Tea and beer does not need to be kept in a freezer. They don't decay. They have no, as you can see, they're outside right now and they're fine. And same is true of beer. Only silo caps. So the recreational drugs that do need to be kept on shelves, if you're wondering, is, so if you go to drugs, ambrosia, which is, which, you know, spoils, silo caps spoil, and that's it. So ambrosia and silo caps are, as you can see, ambrosia and silo caps are allowed in the freezer as priority preferred, and nothing else is. Nothing else matters. Wort, I guess, but it's not a drug, it's a manufactured intermediary good. So only the things that are needed in there are allowed in there. Okay, shelf time. The original goal was to have a 3-wide hallway here, so I'm not going to interrupt that. And that means our storage is going to look something like this. So I'm just going to have like vertical columns. It's not going to be fancy. So we'll do 2 and 3, that will work. And this is like way more storage than I probably will need for quite some time, but better overkill than underkill. I'm not 100% sure if they all fall within the sphere of influence of one trade beacon. I am going to cheese this a little bit and like just take a look. Yeah, okay, easily. All right, no problem. So all of these shelves here are going to be linked together, and these are just going to be storage. And their priority are going to be normal, and anything on the floor will be low. And then, which means in the kitchen floor should be preferred, the shelves should be important, and then the critical shelves are critical, which is true. Okay. Good. Squared away. So if these are all normal, yeah. Floor is preferred. Okay. That works. Down to 1,700 mushrooms? Yeah, I think I'll start sowing them again. We are making lavish meals. And I don't regret queuing up lavish meals. I think lavish meals are probably the right call. Because the labor for cooking them and growing for them is not very high, and JD also enjoys the work, which keeps JD happy. So it, you know, I think that it's a reasonable thing to do. And then I laid out the shelves in such a way that, like, they have pathability. You can walk around them and it isn't annoying. Which is kind of important if you want to traverse it for workshops. And I can also consider putting workshop down here or something later on. Once we have more. I really only, generally in RimWorld, I only really consider building workshops once I have fabrication, because fabricators can't be moved. But until I have fabrication, it doesn't really matter to me. It's like, wherever. I'll just put my benches wherever. Oh my god. Well, okay. I was like, alright, so I started to queue up the sowing of the Nutrifungus, and then I look back and he already has like a third of it done. Oh, okay. That's no problem at all, isn't it? I think we spend more time hauling than we do anything else. Do you want me to clean up the storage area? Meaning, like, put down flooring and lighting? Or am I done? So you can vote on that. Because right now it's a little dark and it could be improved, certainly. And then also, no, not clean. I think it's, we should probably haul to it. Because I want to get stockpile 1. Some of stockpile 1 needs to stay. But the idea here is we'll, I'll put buildables here. We have this, like, awkward cubby hole. So this will be minified. Because buildings can't go on shelves. Nor can chunks, but there's nowhere to put chunks. If I did a Galgrove, how do I get a seed? I have a seed. It's right here. We started with it. Oh, getting attacked. So last time I got attacked, I didn't count. Now we have, oh boy. Assault rifle? We have some legitimately guarded enemies. So you are Hussar. Baseliner, baseliner, baseliner. Copy that. We didn't end up finding uranium excavating that area. So be it. Oh, oh, nice. Components. Ha! That's a lot of components. That's awesome. All right, everybody stay inside right now. Quantum, I want you to don a helmet. Or actually, you don this helmet, because that's good. And the best suit doesn't matter. So don any suit. You don the normal helmet, the normal suit. No, get up. I told you to do the thing. Do the thing. So I'm having them put armor on before the enemies show. The asteroid keeps on giving. Yep, it also looks like I'm gonna need a little bit more corpse space. So Kaiser, Slick, Rubber, and Julia. It's like Mad Lib names. Hilarious. Now, I don't know their traits. They're hidden to me due to mods. So I definitely, I could, again, like, scope out their dodge chance and try to figure out if they're, like, nimble or whatever, but I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to let it go. Ooh, Slick made it pretty far. You have a low shield pack. Sweet. Six hours, okay. There's no rush to strip. Oh, and you have Natrimine. Oh, you're pretty too. Well, you were. Good job, guys. And science lab is going to be the next thing we work on. Middle science lab. So I'll have JD clean up the corpses. Because we still need steel as like a resource, I'm gonna still strip the dead that have tainted gear because we can smelt their stuff. So I don't want to remove their stuff. Plus the low shield pack is pretty dope. So you're gonna get force worn. Actually, yeah, I'm a little worried about stepping the traps, but whatever. Corpse disposal is like, oh, I hate this. Oh my god, don't step on all of them. Oh my goodness. Corpse disposal is like absolutely a problem that we're gonna have to deal with soon. I could, of course, get electric crematorium. That's like not unreasonable. And in the future, what we could do is we could haul corpses to like a cubby hole over here that like no one goes into but JD, and have JD like strip them and then cremate them. And I think that makes sense. That way it's not one person dealing with this and then traipsing all over the traps. I think that's probably wise for the future. But yeah, for now this will have to do. All right, your shotgun can improve. Where'd the other shotgun go? Oh, he just dropped it on the ground. I do have a spot in this steam corridor, but the steam corridor is vacuum. I don't want to do it in vacuum. That's the whole point. The whole point is that everybody can help haul it once it's done. Because if it's in vacuum, only people that wear suits can, but if it's here, everyone can. So there's a huge difference between the two, which is why I wouldn't use this spot. I'm essentially trying to design a base that is ideal for labor efforts, so that we can clean up efficiently. Because if we're constantly, if I don't want to be in the death spiral where we're constantly trying to clean up dead raiders, which then adds more wealth, which then adds more dead raiders, which adds more wealth, which adds more dead raiders. You get it? So we need to be able to like tidy up dead bodies fast so that we're not drowning in dead bodies until it becomes like an actual problem. So that's what's on my mind. And I want to work a way to avoid that. I also think that because we just got, well, okay, so here's the thing. I want to keep JD in tainted apparel because tainted apparel is virtually worthless compared to untainted apparel. But I'm going to start smelting all the tainted vac suits because the tainted vac suits do add wealth, and I don't need that wealth. I'd rather have the steel than plasteel. Need a raider with nades? No kidding. And that would help us clean up for sure. So, science room. I don't know where I want to put science. I could leave science roughly around here. It makes more sense to have a workshop here, though. And because quantum sits... So here's the thing. Because quantum basically sits on the research bench, having someone really close to this door is really, really, really handy. Right? Because then they're able to affect the outcome of a raid easily. So I think I want science around here, where I have like a crematorium around here. So if I was to have an electric crematorium, we could put a crematorium chamber here, maybe? Meaning that we could put a research science room here. I like it. So I'm obviously not going to work on the crematorium, but hypothetically it could be here. And then we can have a 2 narrow hallway. Actually, for the benefit of defense with a brawler, intentionally forcing this into a 1 narrow hallway works in my favor. Because if I'm getting overwhelmed, let's say my turrets and my traps weren't enough, I can have Ty hold a door and my 2 others stack up behind him. So having a 1 hallway here with a door here that stops them from coming into the rest of the base works. I like it. I hope it never comes to that, but I like it. Meaning research here would be great, and then also storing suits here would be great. So I'm going to build this. Yeah, this is where I want the research. And then this becomes an alternative path to path around the base, because I don't want this to be a dead end. I never did. I wanted it to be a potential thoroughfare like that. Am I thinking about getting animals later on? Yeah, I could go for animals. If we wanted animals, what I would need to do is I would need to have my... Well, all right. So to think about that, I would want it in a... if I wanted animals, what we would need is we would need a orbital trade beacon in a tiny room that all around it has air pressure, so that if we bought an animal, it would drop and not immediately asphyxiate. So yeah, like I'm absolutely all for adding animals to some at some point, especially egg layers would be great. But I'm not going to do it until I know they can survive. You're wearing a smoke pop pack? JD has the low shield, yeah. I guess it's fine. So this will be the science room. Oh, I didn't actually have that mined up. 5x7, and that's enough for a multi-analyzer, a library, a high-tech research bench, and everything else that we're gonna want. I'm almost at the point where we get microelectronics, and when that's the case, we're just really gonna want to get, oh, components! I was literally about to say components. Oh, thank God. Alright, so this is a door that's going to be forced open. So it becomes a valid path to encourage raiders to raid. And then we'll put lights like here. Alright, and then this is a dark corner that could be illuminated maybe like this. Or like that. Trying not to have a lot of darkness. I mean, we don't need to live in darkness. You're not darkness memed. Yeah, okay, that's better. Don't forget the ship chunks outside. I haven't. I just don't have an immediate need for the components, but like I will. But yeah, we have them queued up to be destroyed. But with Thai zone restricted not to be able to get there, you know, it's one of those situations where I haven't forgotten, but it will be done eventually. When it's time. But yeah, I like the idea of setting up the research room fairly close to the entryway so that we have someone ready to answer if battle calls. And JD did a wonderful job cleaning up that entryway, and I'm trying to design it. Oh, you know, I didn't mean for... Okay, yeah, hold on. For the science lab, we're going to want the advanced components because the high-tech research bench is going to need them. But I don't want to dig out the rest of this area because it wasn't voted on. And then also this corner of the map is like really low traffic, so it's not likely to get a lot of foot traffic, which means it won't get filthy. And it's also possible that after microelectronics, we'll get sterile materials for what we research next. It'll be up to you. So there will be a queue for that in a moment. So after we have microelectronics, we're going to need a high-tech bench, and high-tech benches need components, but you know, we'll get it. And in building that, it opens up the ability to get transport pods as a next research, which might be even spicier, so that we're not stuck here necessarily. Other really powerful things: hunter traps, because we have a one-wide walkway. Could be very, 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 very strong. And I could even incorporate them into our defenses. Perhaps there's ways to do it that would be very, very, very effective, I think. Other research to get after we get microelectronics would be orbital tech. And that gives us like vac barriers and oxygen pumps. And also the ability to make our own vac suits, so we're not completely reliant on raiders coming to try to murder us. We could also try to research a multi-analyzer. Not that I have the materials to build a multi-analyzer, but we could at least start to research. Well, no, I do, but like we wouldn't be able to get the advanced components for fabrication. But we do have the materials. I take that back. We do have the gold and the plasteel now. Anything else that I'm overlooking? Shields. Because we do have a brawler. So, what to research after I get the big bad microelectronics? What you think? Hole's right there. Because we're getting pretty close. Oh, nice. It's I mean, we'll need to run cables closer. Because this is too far for a microelectronics bench. But it's pretty cool that the cables reach for the light. And JD is now hauling steel for the traps. Actually, before you do that, let's clear in the blood. Cleaning the blood is real dangerous once the traps are in. And then I can even have him start hauling for the bridges too. And then after that, he'll go back to plant sowing. Making sure this is still dark for the Nutrifungus. And it is. Cheers. Oh, Ty, you're probably not allowed there. Nope, you weren't. Let's fix that. Vac safe. This is fine. I was like, why are you stone cutting and not mining? And our workshop's decent. It will get even better once we clean. I'm gonna have Quantum clean. He doesn't do a lot of manual labor, so I'm gonna have him take a break from research for just a moment to tidy up the workshop. Because once the workshop gets higher quality, like once it's into the like slightly impressive, we will start to have better mood bonuses for stuff. I can't believe this entire thing is heated by 1 chem gen. It's pretty impressive how much heat gets off-put from that one thing. Truly, like, I'm slightly baffled. Might as well let him haul the components. So he'll start, I guess he already hauled the, all right, so if I want him to get the components, the person I want to do that is, Ty. Because, Ty has a much better deconstruct. So now that he's, like, basically out of other tasks, I'll have Ty queue up the, queue this up for deconstruction, take off the suit, get re-zone restricted. And have JD just grab the steel. Already doing it. Pretty reliable. Oh, fudge. JD, you're in... okay, let's not high priority haul now, because that's causing problems. And you guys want orbital tech next. Copy that. So we're going to turn this into a proper research room in a minute. No, there we go. You were asking about swimming. We do swim. It's shallow water, but it's deep enough. What a cozy, strange home. Would lights make the lake better? I mean, yeah, but we use it like once in a blue moon, so I think realistically it ain't a big deal not to have it. And I'm moving the stone cut here so that Ty can cut a bunch of stone to clean this up, because that's going to be pretty helpful in getting a proper research room. The other thing we're going to need for this is a vent, because this room is going to be enclosed. Oh, shoot! Our first food poisoning. That doesn't happen very often. Would it be worth turning those bricks into some stone floors? Sure, but little reminder, I work on the priority above my head. The current priority. So, if a task draws me away from a different priority, I don't work on it. So I'm not building the bridges for the entryway because the priority is the science lab. So I'm going to be working on the science lab. I only have one constructor, so that one constructor's tasks are dictated by priority, and if it isn't a priority, it isn't being worked on. Long and short of it. So if you're wondering, hey, why aren't you doing X, Y, or Z? Well, I have finite manpower, and with that finite manpower, I work on the thing that's voted on and dictated to be most important amongst, you know, the voters. So it's easy to forget, but I will continually remind you that Ty is one man, or in this case, woman, and can't do everything. So all of the, hey, you should build X, Y, or Z. It's like, yeah, if I had more labor, sure. I don't disagree. Oh, you're starving just because you vomited. I was like, am I out of food? No, I'm not out of food. She's a whole lot of woman, though. Yeah, she probably can Snoo pretty good, I imagine. She ain't a dainty lass. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Tribe of the Sky, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow tribe members.